All right.
Here we go. You know what? It's Tuesday. So you know what that means. It's time of the week that you get to see your favorite uncle and your favorite cousin.
What? Welcome. Hey, yo, y'all, my peoples. Welcome to another lovely episode of Real Talk Tuesdays with your favorite uncle and your favorite cousin. And I got two of my dopest brothers with me right now while we waiting for our ladies to file in. You got the best barber in the now.
The best barber in the
My boy Cut Rod the God. And you got the best lineman in the city, my boy
Yeah,
D.
damn right, Jack.
You got the best lineman in the city.
So, you know, we got some hot topics to talk about today. We got some fire, and we're gonna cover that. We're gonna talk about forgiveness. We're gonna talk about splitting the bill. We just got a lot of dope things to talk about today. But before we get anything, you know, we do the mental health check. How has everybody been doing? How's everybody today? You know what I'm saying? How was your day today, Rod?
Man, listen, my day was good, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I was super tired this morning though, bro. I ain't go to bed till like 2:30. I don't know why. Don't ask me why, but I just didn't go to bed at like 2:30. And I had to get up and be to work early, bro. So I was tired, but I was booked. So the day went by mad fast, and I was able to just kick it, bro. And chill.
You was out here with the shenanigans, basically.
I wasn't in the streets. I was at the crib though.
That's all right. You're still up. We're still up with the shenanigans. That's all right. How was your day today?
Oh, most good, most excellent. Ran a couple of errands. Back in the house, man. Taking care of puppies. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, if you didn't know, our boy Mr. Uncle Puss, the dog father, is recently a grandfather of 11 beautiful puppies.
12
beautiful puppies.
12.
What is it, pit bull mixed with cane corso?
Pit corso.
Pit corso. So you know, you looking for, and you in the Chicago area, you looking for a lovely dog. My boy Telly got you. But my day was rough. Had to deal with some shitty lawn work.
Rough day,
bruh. I had somebody come out to one of my properties and give me some shitty lawn work and try to pass it off as it's done. You know how when you cut a palm tree, bro, you know how you cut a palm tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you cut the dead ones off of it, the brown ones, right? And so like you got that little part that's sticking out, and how you know how they prune the palm tree, so they pull all them down and get up. Bro, they literally didn't even do that, bro. They just cut the dead ones off and left them on the ground, and they said they were done. So that was,
they ain't even pick them up. That's crazy,
bro. Left two trash cans and a rake outside. It wasn't a move. So
what was it? What was it?
Bruh, you know what? We ain't gonna. Hey, I got a sneaky suspicion that crew was white. That's all I'm saying.
YT, her.
I got a suspicion that crew was a little on the Caucasian side, because I know my Negro brothers did me like
I know my boys.
I know my boys
go and get the thing done. Quit like.
Yo, but D8, how was your day today, my brother?
Man, it was cool, bro. Typical Tuesday. Actually went pretty smooth, man. So.
Okay.
You know, I'm just waiting on this week to pass anyway. Tomorrow Wednesday already, so I'm cool with it. It was a laid back day, bro. Very smooth.
Hey, that's all right.
And simple.
That's what's up, my brother. It was a laid back day. So listen, before we get into anything, right? Our first lady of the podcast had a dope interview last week that airs tomorrow. And it's exclusive interview. Yes, exclusive interview only on YouTube. So if you want to watch the interview, you got to see it on the YouTube page, the Family Talk YouTube page. So we're going to give you a snippet of the interview right now, but it's an exclusive only on YouTube.
I think you should ask why.
No, I'm not.
No, go ahead. Ask why.
Oh, I can ask. I was scared what the answer was going to be. My elevation.
When the Lord took me out of Atlanta and said, "Get yourself in Orlando," how
How'd you meet Nick and Jim?
You tell the story then.
You tell
No, I don't want to tell it. As long as you ain't tell.
Grab the book, catch the tea if y'all want to play.
Yeah, y'all want the tea? She gave y'all a snippet now. She gave y'all a snippet.
Old shit that I've been holding on to. And some of it's cruel, and I got the tools to be so divisive, but I rely on my.
Yo, y'all see the interview, y'all see the vibes. So please, Wednesday I will be checking out the interview, and if you want to see more of that interview, please hop on YouTube only, a YouTube special. But before we get into anything all that, we'll be right back with right after our intro. We're gonna hop into a hot topic. And Unc's ready to cook on it right now, so we're gonna hop into a hot topic right after the intro.
But it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. It's Real Talk Tuesday with America's favorite uncle and cousin.
Listen, what they want. Listen, I'm a man of honor. I got to see it through, bro.
This what they want from the jump. Young niggas throw weight on the pump.
I don't give a damn. I done went to people's houses on the first night and met them for the first time and use your bathroom and take a damn shit. I don't care.
I'm gonna back you up on 99.99%. You right. I ain't hanging out with no ugly.
Let me check. Like I told you, man, there's levels to this.
Oh, you talking about that girl, man?
Yeah, that girl,
bro. Man, fuck that bitch, bro.
That's it.
Man, that intro get me every single time, man. We some old fools out here in these streets. So let's get into our first question tonight.
Let's get it, man.
Let's get into our first question tonight. So check this out, right? And this was something that we talked about a while ago, but we was gonna get into it. So, is it a deal breaker if a woman doesn't take your last name after marriage? Is it a deal breaker? Right. Well, you look hella intrigued. Let me hear your reason. Is it a deal breaker, right?
Okay. Now, what if she hyphenated?
Right. This is your perspective. We are gonna give out our opinions in a little bit.
All right.
This is your perspective. So for you, Rodney Williams, the cut guy. Is it a deal breaker if your fiance doesn't take your last name, or she wants to hyphenate it? We'll throw out both scenarios.
I ain't gonna say it's a complete deal breaker, but I will say that it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, and it could break the deal. I'm not just saying it's an automatic deal breaker, but it could break the deal. You know what I mean? Like you got to have like some reasoning behind it. But at the same time, though, I'm like, if you ain't taking my last name, then what's the point? Like, you feel me? So I guess you could say it's a deal breaker. Yeah, it's a deal breaker. Broken deal. Deal broken. Broke deal. Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. You got to take my last name. It's Willie gang or die. You know, you know what I'm saying. You got to take the Willie. You feel me? You got to take the Williams at the end of your name. Period, man. You have to. Because you're a reflection of me. Because I know you're going to use my credit card with my last name on it. So you might as well go ahead and change your last name too. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Well.
Hey, Miss Lolita.
What up, Lolita?
What about
Lolita?
Hey, y'all.
She coming in with that weekend slave. Do we see you, girl?
Ooh, Tyler.
Nice.
Thank
You
you.
look nice.
Thank you,
You
guys.
kind of look like your sister.
Really? Let me find out we some kin.
Yeah.
Hey, right.
No,
So
for
what you
real.
saying?
You look like my
So
sister.
it's a no-go. It's a no-go
Yeah.
on her keeping her last name. Right?
Nah, it's a no-go, man.
So I'm pretty sure it's a hell no on you taking her last name.
It's a super no. Yeah, it's a super no for me.
What about hyphenating?
I might be open to the hyphenated, bro.
You
I
might
ain't
be
gonna cap. If she got good reasoning behind it, I might be open to the hyphenated.
okay.
But
Right.
that's just. But if we have a kid, ain't no hyphens. Straight Willie. Don't look at me like that. Ain't no hyphenation. She got to take the straight last name. Straight up. My kid gonna have my last name.
So
your last name's irrelevant.
So
go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and go, then I'm gonna let Miss Lolita go. It's a hell no on everything for me, bro. I ain't budging, I ain't kicking, I ain't moving, we ain't nothing to compromise, ain't no conversation to be had. It's hell no from the jump start. We ain't hyphenating shit. You ain't changing shit.
No hyphens neither.
I don't give a damn if we have 8 kids. I ain't hyphenating not motherfucking thing. Not motherfucking. Well, you know what? If a woman looks at me and says, "Oh, I want to have my last. I like my last name," to go marry your fucking daddy or your brother. I ain't budging.
Dang. Or somebody who got the same last name. Yeah. Fact.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've heard people be like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? I want my last name to live on. So how about if we have 2 kids? I want to hyphenate. I don't give a fuck, baby. We can have 18 boys. They all gonna have the same last name, Stokes. I ain't hyphenating not.
That's a fact, my guy.
Motherfucking thing. We ain't hyphenating shit. They ain't getting shit. Nothing. And honestly,
they ain't getting what you ain't
nothing.
That's
you ain't
crazy.
Nothing. You hear me?
That's crazy.
You ain't getting
but
nothing.
I feel you. But that's crazy.
And you know what's crazy is the fact that look insight on my last name, right? I actually got my last name from my grandma. All right, because when my dad was born, my granddad was in the army, right? So my grandma was kind of like, well, damn, he not around because he in the army, he overseas. So right. I'm just gonna get my son my last name. So I got my dad's last name. I got my grandma's last name instead of my grandma.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was overseas in the army. So
that's typical though.
But think about it. So in all technicality, my last name should have been Carter, right? But it ended up being Stokes. But I'm proud of whatever last name I got. So whether it would have been Carter or Stokes, all my kids getting it. Like I said, we ain't budging on a damn thing. We can't compromise on nothing. We can't talk about nothing. I don't care how many boys, how many girls I got. All of them getting the same last name. And you're right. I don't care if my daughters get married and change their last name, right? But you know what though? If my daughter came to me and was like, "Pops, guess what? I like my last name so much that my husband gonna let me hyphenate my last name. We're gonna keep your name going through whatever. I'm gonna dap her up like, good job, baby girl. I like that. I like that shit. But now I want you to know your daddy ain't going for it, but I'm pound you up for doing it. You feel me? But me personally, I ain't budging on shit. Not you. If I'm gonna give up these streets, you gonna give up that last name. That's on G.
My boy said if I'm gonna give up these streets, stop.
Miss Lolita with the nice hair. We should change your name to Lolita with the good hair today.
You're so funny. It's just these words of letting, and letting is just it gives you the ick. The ick. A man letting you keep your last name. Ugh.
All right, then school us. Because I know you got a relative who kept her last name, right?
Yeah, my sister kept her last name, and her husband took her last name. Yes, which I've never heard of before.
Daddy, what I look like?
Yep. So that is a very unique scenario. Now, as for me, I'll probably take my husband's last name, but if I was a doctor or something like that, I wasn't coming up off my last name.
Why? Why? What's the difference?
I'm Dr. Romero to you and everybody else.
But what's the difference? What would be the difference? Whether you're a doctor, his last name, or Dr. Romero.
It's a huge pain in the ass. Is really one of the biggest things. Like changing your last name and doing all that stuff is a huge pain.
But obviously, you knew about the pain before you decided to get married. So obviously, you took a vow to take the pain and do what you need to do to change the name.
Taking last name ain't that deep to me. Ain't that deep to me. If I didn't want to, I wouldn't. Like, let's say it was an ugly name, and I don't want it.
But you knew it was an ugly name before you decided to date this guy. So, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't think girls don't think about that stuff? Like, you trying to tell me you don't think about.
That's a very good point, because when you started dating him, you found out his last name.
You knew his last name, so you trying to tell me you don't think his last name, like, and be like,
on one knee They say, "Will you marry me?"
Then if I said that would be a reason for me not to date a guy, y'all be like, "Oh, that's messed up. You let the last name."
No, we not.
That's your
You know what?
preference.
Lola, if you
I ain't
said,
finna
you
date
know what?
nobody who got
I didn't date that nigga.
well, it don't
Look,
matter
I
to
didn't
me
like
because
his
you change
last
my
name.
name anyway. But still, like,
I
I get
respect
it.
it. I respect it.
Like, yeah, like.
I'll
No.
change my last name if I want to. If I don't want to,
That's
I
crazy. So it's all about you doing what you want to do.
Nah, but one thing about it, there's something about compromise for sure.
Right.
But that takes both of us. So maybe we agree on a hyphenation. But if I don't want to take your last name, I don't have to. And nobody has to.
But I get that. But this is my point right here. You said that if you're a doctor, there's no compromising. But then now you just said there's some compromising. So
for me,
which is it?
If I'm not a doctor, but I'm talking about for the masses. If a girl doesn't want to, girl doesn't want to.
That's
you
crazy.
Right. You're right. It is a free choice world. So she
It is a free choice world.
She don't absolutely have to not take that last name, right? But before we continue, we'll get into some of these comments, right? So Miss Francesca Runway, right? So why is it up to the man?
It ain't Francesca. That's why we got similar names, girl.
First of all,
why is it up to the man?
It's not Francesca, it's Francisca.
So boom, it's up to the man. Why is it up to the man? But it's up to the man to be the head. It's up to the man to, like, when you want to create a new legacy with your husband, and our name becomes, my name becomes our name. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like, that's a point. Like, my name becomes our name, so our family name is going to be my name, and you feel what I'm saying? Then our sons and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're starting the new generation. Like, we're starting the new generation of whatever we create, the new generation of seeds. So, like, our name, that's our name. You feel me? If your dad want to change his name to my name, he can do that too. So that your whole family could be, you know what I'm saying, Williams. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
That's true. So, I mean, I guess why is it up to the man? I guess I think it's just society standard, because from the day we were born, from the day we had any lick of common sense, at no point did any dude ever think about changing his last name. Girls do it all the time because that's just the way it is.
I mean, no.
At no point did I ever think
criminals
about my last name
go ahead.
something else. Well, as far as marriage reasons, you know what I'm saying? So at no point are we ever thinking about changing it. So I don't know why it's up to the man. That's just the way society has put it. I guess sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes it isn't, just like it ain't fair that Lola's in there eating her fries right now.
I thought it was 7. My bad.
Oh, what's that? The apples? Are the McDonald's apples? They come with the Happy Meal?
I had 3 fries, but yes, apples.
Okay, we got our eye on you because you on your 30-day plan. Remember that. We got our eyes on you.
Shouldn't have told that guy nothing.
We hold her accountable every show.
You should have told that guy nothing.
What's going on, my brother? So what's up? You willing to compromise on the last name change? You willing to compromise with a hyphenation?
If you want your ring, your ass change your last name.
Oh, I like that, my guy. We got to get that on a shirt.
Simple as that.
We got to get that on a shirt, my
There's
guy.
no compromising. There's
kick your ass.
There's no questions about it. What we compromising for? Why are we compromising? What are we hyphening your name for? If you want,
because it'll look good on a jersey.
If you want your last name to stay the same, then what we getting married for? Like you get married, like you know what it's about. We're becoming one, so that's the purpose. That's first off the purpose of your name changing, because we are becoming one. How the hell are we one if your name staying the same? We have not became one. So and the question is, why is it up to the man? Well, same reason y'all expect it to be up to a man to get our ass down on their knee and propose to you and even get this ball rolling. I mean, like, we're gonna be technical about it. So yeah, there's no compromise for me. There's not even a question. Like, this is not even a topic that's up for discussion. Personally, like, I mean, let's be real. Like, why should it? And then especially taking taking a woman's last name? Like, what? Like, come on, bro.
What if her last name was Manly?
And her last name was who?
Manly, like a manly
But
last name.
I wouldn't give a damn if her last name was maple syrup. Your shit changes to Holloman. As simple as that. It ain't no questions about it. Like, we don't have nothing. Like, what are we discussing for? I don't care the circumstances. Like, that's how it goes. Like, that's how it goes. At the end of the day, that's the tradition of it. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how, like, I know a lot of females, they want compromise on shit that they won't compromise on. Well, if that's the case, if we're gonna compromise about one thing, we're gonna compromise about everything.
That might not work in our favor, though.
No, bro. That's the thing about it. Guess what?
That might come out a lot of
ass.
Hey, but guess what? That's what I'm saying. Everything don't work in our favor. Truth be told, we really don't ask for shit. Truth be told.
Wait, Carolyn Andrew.
That's no. Miss Mom. Hold on.
Only way, man.
So Francesca adds, it's okay to add your name, but why you mad about wanting to keep the maiden name?
Because if you want to keep your maiden name, don't even worry about. We don't even go to the altar. Like we don't need to get married. What we get married for?
Lola is not
deep side.
I'm just saying. So if that's the case, if it's okay for you to keep your maiden name, is it okay for us not to be married then?
I think this is why I say this, right? I'm gonna read these comments and then I'm gonna let Aunt get on this topic, right? And then we're gonna move on. I think that for what Lola's saying, as far as like a profession where your name is part of your brand, I would understand a hyphenation or like you change it, you keeping your last name for the purpose of your business. Like just like Kim Kardashian West kept her last name because that's part of her brand. I could get that much. Keeping part of your name, but part of your
different
hyphenation because it's part of who you are. So if you're a doctor, I can. All right, cool. We'll let you keep it a hyphen.
That's cool. Like that little part right there. That's cool.
Some regular shit. Nah, bro. We ain't rocking with that.
Yeah, like
Hold up, cuzzo. Hold up, cuzzo. No. We ain't doing that. First of all,
here we go.
That's not a little thing. That's a big thing. Second of all, if we married before you get your doctorate degree and your name is Williams, you finna be addressed as Dr. Williams. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
they need to know. Oh, that's Dr. Williams. The Williams legacy. Like, what do you mean? No, you're not going back to your maiden name. No, you finna be a doctor with the name that you just got from me.
I think Lola was saying if it's already established.
Okay.
If it's already established.
Yeah,
before you get married, okay.
It's like, you know what? I'd be okay. You know what I'm saying, with it because it's like it's established, and plus that name bringing money to our house. So I ain't buck the system too much on that, especially if it's a doctor some shit, right? But hold on, Miss Andrews, let's see what Mom's got to say. The only way a man must be able to take care of everything and need help doing the carry him out. I kind of agree with her on that point. I agree with that point.
Men want to be real old-fashioned till it comes to paying bills. And then it's 50-50. It ain't old. Hey, y'all ain't back in 1920s then.
That's kind of the same thing though, ain't it?
Chris say, so if you have a bunch of daughters, then your name will get lost if they all get married. You know what? Yeah. That's true. But they still keeping that last name though. And they might mess around and get pregnant by a deadbeat. So that kid might keep their last name. So that's how I'm rocking with it. You know what?
You know what?
They gotta change their last names, remember?
You know what? Keep that funky little last name. You want to know why? Because it might not last anyways.
And
then we ain't gonna keep the little funky last name because it might not last anyways.
Now you heard me? Stop it, right?
Use it when you feel like using it, and when you don't feel like using it, don't use it. You heard me? When you go to the hood, go ahead and use it. When you're not in the hood, you can use the doctor name. That's cool. But
you see that? Compromise is the sister of resistment. Woo, shit. Woo.
It's the sister of resentment.
Woo, shit.
Nah, man.
Somebody put that in your Bible notes.
Hey, man. Listen, though. In reality, though, it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had before you even propose. Like, when you're thinking about getting married, like, that's a conversation that needs to be had straight up. And a lot of people don't think about that. Like, but yeah. Nah, we got to have a talk about that.
Hey, to each his own. I'm going to say like that.
It was a nightmare to change her name or her nursing's license.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's what I'm saying. For something that's established, then that shit don't really matter too much. You know what I'm saying? That's already established. But like your driver's license, you know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like important things is what I'm saying. Like that's the whole thing. Not something that's already established. You've been a nurse or a doctor for 10 years and then you got married. Of course, like leave your badge the same. That shit is what it is. That don't bother me at work. Like I mean, that part is what it is.
I hope you had that talk before you get on one knee. That's damn good conversation right there.
That's why.
My boy Marjan says having the same name is a way to show unity. In my opinion, it's as important as you're wearing your ring.
That's what I
agree with that, my guy.
I
become one.
I agree. Let's close it out. Let's hear what you got to say because you've been ready since last week.
Yeah. Well, you know, we start with a story. My last name is Jackson.
Okay.
You know, and it's precious to me because my mom's last name is Jackson. And when she met my father, his last name happened to be Jackson also. So that's a destiny thing.
Where y'all from?
That's a legacy thing to me.
Chicago. That's how I feel,
Chicago.
legacy.
That's a legacy thing. I'm going to give you my name. That's a legacy. The kids going to have my name. That's legacy. You telling me you want to keep your name or you want to hyphenate your name, you should know my legacy. So you want to compromise and hyphenate your name? Do you want to hyphenate this marriage and I get 2 wives? Since you want 2 last names, you probably don't want to do that, right? Well, okay then. You try to hyphenate your name or keep your name, you can give me my ring back, you're going to find some other sucker who's going to do that for you. I don't play with that. I don't mess around with that. I'm absorbing you into my family. You become a part of my legacy. You're going to wear my name with pride because I wear my name with pride. See, the problem is you got these damn feminists, so-called feminists running around who think if you take a man's last name, they're losing their identity. No, baby, I'm enhancing your identity. I don't want you to lose yourself. You know, they said, man, you want to keep your last name for what? I mean, really, why? It's always been tradition. I didn't make the tradition up. You know, you take the man's last name. You leave your father, your family, and you become one with your husband. Period. He becomes one with you. So what's with all this blowback with the name stuff? Now you want to change the rules. Things been standing for hundreds of thousands of years. Now you want to come along and change the rules. Cool. Change the rules. You're going to be by your damn self. Like I said, I don't play that. You know, damn that old professional name shit. You ain't Janet Jackson. Fuck it if you're a doctor, I don't give a fuck. You're a lawyer, I don't give a fuck. This ain't no Johnson & Jackson. This ain't no law firm. It's Jackson. I really do not care. You going to change it or you hitting the door? Bottom line.
Put down and boy, you need one of them gals.
But the thing too is there's also different cultures. So not the American standard doesn't mean that it's right. You know what I mean? If you marry somebody from Spain or Belgium or something like that, and that's not their custom, y'all ain't gonna get married because it's not their custom. Why are your customs better than their custom?
She gonna have to marry somebody in her custom.
Yeah, exactly. If that's your custom, you can stay your ass in Spain, Belgium, and eat them damn waffles. I don't care. I just said I do not care.
Bells and waffles do.
I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Nigga,
They do, right? I'm hungry now.
They do for real.
I don't care. There's certain things I don't compromise on, and that's one of them. I mean, I understand your culture. Eat your food. I buy everything. Dress how you want. But that right there, I don't compromise on. Period.
Now,
When
to
you
the
say
defense, you had it kind of made because your mama and your daddy had the same last name. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is cool because
you got your last name off some divine intervention type
right.
shit. Like,
Yeah,
like
that was just
from the heavens above.
That was just supposed
to be last name is Jackson. That's what that was right there.
Because it looked like mama wasn't compromising. I see my girl in the comments. She looked like she's not compromising.
Mom said, well, you know what? I ain't got your last name already Jackson anyway, nigga. So I ain't got
what you got to compromise for? Ain't no compromise.
Mom said, fuck it, I ain't changing shit. Well, this is a good point. Look, it's a little deep, but it's a good point.
Ask your mama,
right?
So your mama saying she wouldn't have changed her name if it wasn't already Jackson. That what your mama saying?
That should go right there. That's my mama right there, Carolyn.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying.
So
if it wasn't her name, she would have changed it.
You know, no, she changed her name right here because it's Carolyn Andrews. So she changed her name to her to the husband she has now. But she said that when she was with Telly's dad, that there was no compromising on the name shit. But I guess she found somebody that she loved enough to make that compromise for her and change her last name. So she did it. So answer your question, would she change her last name? Yes.
Right, because she did that.
Hey, and also before we move on, just know this too, bro. In every situation in life, somebody involved in that situation will be left to feel some type of way. When the shit what boils down to it, somebody's gonna always feel some type of way about every situation in life.
That's true. So hit on this comment, right? Problem is you lost your identity a long time ago. You're not passing on the legacy. The roots you adapted aren't even yours. They're the previous owners anyway. So that's basically you're not even passing on your own legacy. You slave owner. So that's a very good point. And again, Mr. Gross with again, that is a pre-marriage conversation. Straight up. So we will all agree. Everybody has their opinions, and that is definitely a pre-marriage conversation. So on to the next, right? You know us. We got our real talk scenario of the week, brought to you by Miss Lolita. She gives me one every week. Every week she gives me some shit, and she sent me her TikTok, and I was like, I love it. So we're gonna go with it. So here's the scenario, right? You and your long-term boyfriend or girlfriend or wife, or Telly's wife, Rod, you and Miss Jasmine, and whoever, we all sitting in coach with our significant other, and they come up and tell your girl, you know, or your dude, like, hey, I can bump one of y'all up to first class. Do you want to go to first class? And it's your significant other, right? Do you let your significant other go to first class for this flight, or do you be petty and ask them to sit in coach with you?
But it's a long haul flight. You on a 20-hour flight from France. I mean, not France. France is like 10 hours. Well, France for 10 hours.
Okay.
And you have to make that decision for a 10-hour flight. This ain't no 1 hour, 2 hour flight. It's a 10-hour flight.
All right. So I'm going to go first on this.
Yeah. Go first.
I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, go ahead and sit in first class. Because I know for a fact I'm not going to hit the end of that shit if I say no. And then if you say no, and then they be like, well, fuck it, I'm going to go do it anyway. Ain't no point. Ain't no point of fighting. You fighting a losing battle. I'm going to go ahead and sit, man, go ahead and sit in first class. I'm going to sit back here and live my best life.
So it was offered to you and you're going to give it to your significant other.
I'll let her have it. Go ahead and have it. I'm going to let you go sit in first class. Because I feel like later on down the road, I'm going to definitely use this and be like, hey, you remember that time I let you go sit in first class and I didn't give you no shit? You owe me this one, bro. So I'm going to use that as future ammo for something I want later on. And plus, I don't want to hear no shit. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, it might secure you some pussy for when you get off the flight. You know what I'm saying? She might be like, hey, I'm feeling real good. I might break you off some good tonight because you know you was cool with me going first class. So me personally, you go ahead and go to first class. I ain't gonna knock you. I ain't gonna knock your blessing. Let you have that little moment. That's me personally. Right, what's up? You let Jazzy
Bro,
go?
you always gotta go to me second. Ask Lolita. Because I don't want to look like the bad guy for what
No,
I got.
go ahead,
I go.
I want you to look like the bad guy. Go ahead.
Go. Oh, you want me to go?
I want you to go.
Okay, so boom. All right, we're gonna have to break it down a little bit first. All right, so look. It was offered to me, right?
Yeah.
They came to me and they said, hey, cut guy, we want to move you from low class to first class, right?
Okay.
And I got my girl with me. Now, are we talking married? Are we talking about girlfriend? We talking about because it's significant. Nobody's significant. You feel what I'm saying? Are we talking girlfriend or wife? What are we talking?
Let's say wife.
Wife? Is she pregnant or regular?
There's a lot of conditions on a yes or no question.
It is. Is she pregnant or regular?
Regular, not pregnant.
Regular? Okay. This is how it's gonna go. They offered it to me. I'm gonna ask her, how are you comfortable? Are your feet hurting? Anything like that? If she say no, I'm going to first class. You feel me? If she say yeah, we gonna just both sit here and coach. Because they ain't giving up my first class seat. They offered me, I might not get another chance. And then who's to say y'all finna last? Who's to say that you gonna get another first class opportunity? You feel what I'm saying? Who's to say that, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this might be the only opportunity for me to get first class. Now, let me stop playing. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to get my seat up.
Somebody in the comments got something to say about it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to give my seat up. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to let her get the seat. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk my trash, but I'm going to let her get the seat.
You're going to talk this shit, but you're going to let her get the seat?
Yeah, I'm going to let her get the seat.
I'm going to give it up. I'm going to give up the seat, right? But when I tell you, I'm going to roll up through first class, though. Scout the area out. Like, hey, bro, it's because she's sitting here by herself.
Nah, I don't even want to look at it. Don't even show it to me. I'm just let her get the seat because I'm going to go to sleep anyways on the plane. I always go to sleep. I'm going to be asleep anyway. By the time I go to sleep, wake up, we'll be already to the destination.
Okay.
So,
Right, so he's going to be a gentleman and give up the seat. My boy, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but listen, I'm not going to expect nothing back, though.
Oh, no, I'm expecting something back.
I ain't expecting nothing back. You want to know why?
I want something back. Ain't even lie to you.
Because come on, when you go with expecting to see anything from another person, you setting yourself up for failure. So you don't go with
I set myself up for that little phase.
Yeah, not right. I ain't gonna never set myself up for. I don't expect nothing. Just give me what you give me what you got, and I'm gonna take what it is. If I like it, I'm gonna take it. If I don't, I'm gonna leave.
Because when I'm looking at you with them frisky eyes later on, don't be hitting me like I'm a little tired. No hell, because
and she gonna hit you with that. I'm tired.
You was in first class. You weren't tired. You got plenty of rest in that comfortable seat. Stop playing with my tape.
She got jet lag. She gonna hit you with something. It ain't guaranteed, my guy.
Ain't no such thing as jet lag in first class. I'm about to make some shit. I'm like, okay, Siri, can you get jet lag in first class? Like, I'm asking Siri.
Facts.
Yo, so Chris says he gonna chill with Bay and coach because he is a guy. Like, look at him, Lola, Miss. We already know Miss book a vacation. Miss gonna take a trip.
Yes. So I'm definitely taking first class, but I will switch with Bay. So if it's 10 hours, halfway through, you can switch seats.
I ain't think about that.
Damn, I ain't think about that either.
I ain't think about that.
Damn.
That makes it more. That makes me more want to do it. If we're gonna split it, we can even do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2 hours me, 2 hours do, 2 hours me, 2 hours too. You feel me? Sure.
I'll be damn. Look at you coming up with a problem.
Look at that.
5 hours.
Look at that.
Look at you.
And that's why I copied off your homework in high school. Because you always came with the solution. That's why.
So funny.
DH, what's up, man? You let your girl sit in first class, or you gonna take that first class seat?
Well, outside of the great answer Lola gave, without thinking about what Lola said, we probably just gonna both just stay in the back. We're gonna pass it along. I mean, I'll probably just option to give it to somebody else. And then knowing mine, she ain't gonna try to bounce it. Anyway.
I mean, you guys got some good answers. I'm not
like I said, the greatest answer though is what Lola said. I mean, that
like
is
now I'm gonna have to. Hey, I'm like Rod. I'm gonna have to change my answer on my homework now. I'm like, hey, bro, listen, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna do 5, and I'm gonna do 5. So it's like, okay, so when you go in, you give me your first class ticket, and you come back here, and then I go up there with my first class ticket.
Yeah, that would be the reasonable thing. I mean, with that idea, but I'm saying without that great idea that Lola brought to the table, just saying we ain't think about that, then yeah, we just gonna sit and coach.
Hey, look at Lola with the perfect answer.
Mm-hmm.
Or we gonna find out, or we can find out the extra few dollars to bump the extra ticket up to first class.
Lola
we both in there.
Lola said, I might not take your last name, but I'll let you fly few hours in first class.
Right. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
Like y'all just dating? No, we married, but she ain't got your last name. That's all right though. She gonna let me slide in first class. Mind your business.
For 5 hours. For 5 hours, I'm gonna get this first class now.
Oh, what about you? What's up? You let Miss Tiffany ride first class, and y'all stand in the back with each other.
Well, it's like this, man. Leave it up to her. You ask her. She better get the right damn answer, but you ask her. Because I live by a code. We came together, we leaving together. So I'm not going up there and you're not going up there. We're going to kick it together because that's part of the entertainment. You know, coach ain't got nothing. You get some damn peanuts and a little pop. So I need something to entertain me. 10 hours? Shit, I can't sit still for 10 minutes. I need to talk your ear off. I can't be talking to the woman next to me or the old dude next to me. I need to lay my head on your shoulder and sleep, and vice versa. Can't do that if you in first class and I'm back here. You know, I'm telling you, got a story, man. I was in coach. This chick straight fell asleep on me. I didn't even know this chick. I mean, she leaned her head on my lap and was gone. I was like, did I say anything? No, I just reclined back and went to sleep. Shit, fuck it. I'm like, yeah, but all along, I'm looking like, damn, she's so damn tired. Damn, she just said, fuck it, I'm gonna fall asleep on this dude. Don't even know me. She woke up. I'm looking at her like, did you enjoy yourself? Like,
but you ain't wake up though.
You know, but,
I would have been like, hey.
No, hell no. Nah, man.
Was you single? Was you single?
Yeah, at this time I was single, man.
Okay, see, that's
she
okay.
Was cute. I didn't bother her.
You're right. I ain't let no bigger wolf lay on me. Like, hey, I be like, hey, bro, homie, you gotta get your ass off me. What you doing? Your side. What you doing? You know, booger. They can't no punch ball lay on me. You can't get up off me, bro. Bruh, slide.
It's the same, man. You can be first class on the bus, first class on the plane, first class on the train. We got on this bad boy together. We gonna ride together.
All right.
Ain't no separation. Shit, you never know what could happen.
All right, I love it. Well, everybody gave a great answer. Lola, A+, perfect answer. You know, so we're gonna hop into our first question of the night. It's kind of a real question, so everybody put your thinking caps on. And it's something that Telly hit me with an article, and it's something that goes around a lot. And we just want everybody to, you know, kind of just think about it for a split second. So, should there be some type of reprimand for women who lie or make false allegations about rape and abuse? So should there be some type of reprimand for women who make false allegations about abuse or rape? Oh, I'm sorry. Get credit where credit. The CEO gave me that question, not Telly.
Yeah.
My bad.
I was looking like I did. I was looking like I did. I was like, I thought it was something else.
I swear to God, you sent me an article. I thought you sent me an article, but that might have been. It's cool though. So,
I sent you a different article.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna hit this one first, right? Here's my thing. First of all, something with rape and especially like domestic abuse, it's never a light matter. You know what I'm saying? And we all know how something as simple as that type of allegation can ruin a career, right? Can straight up ruin a career. We've seen what it did to guys like Ray Rice. We've seen, guys and athletes in the prime of their careers, like pretty much get exiled out. You've seen businessmen lose companies over the allegations. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if it's true, then wherever the chips may fall, they may fall. But there are certain cases where people, right, women have lied and kind of overshot the story to make this dude look bad. And I think that when there comes a point in time where there's a flat out lie, then I think there should be some type of reprimand to that situation because you cost somebody their career. And the most recent one I seen was a young football player from the University of Baylor. I remember a couple of years ago, he was literally like a top 2 pick, and he went to a frat party, and chick came back to the room. She got drunk. He left her ass deaf, and the next day she cried rape. And this man ain't played a down of football in the NFL since then. You know what I'm saying? He got kicked out of school. He got, you know what I'm saying? So nobody touched him. And I think that's like highly messed up. And now that it come out today that she lied because she was upset. And I'm just kind of like, why the fuck would you lie and ruin this man's career because you're upset? Right. And so like, I think there should be some type of reprimand for that. It's like, bro, you can't just ruin somebody's life and then just get to walk away scotch-free because that's when she walked away. Like nothing ever happened to her. You've had women lie about, like, let's talk about the fact that we've had like 6 women so far lie and say Chris Brown raped them. Like one chick was stalking this man. She jumped 3 gates to get to his house.
I remember that.
He raped her, right? And I'm just sitting here looking like what's this? This man's put 2 restraining orders out on this woman. This woman has repeatedly stalked this man. She's trespassing on this man's property, and then she's in the tabloids lying about this man raped her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at what point do we get to a point where we be like, hey, that's not okay? So there is some type of punishment, right? If it is found to be false, I think there should be some type of reprimand on that.
Some jail time.
I don't know what, I can't say what the reprimand is, but I think there should definitely be some type of reprimand because we've also had the situation with who was it? With Usher about the whole herpes scandal, and the one chick said he raped her, and I'm just like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, this Usher look like the type of dude that got to take, like, rape somebody. Like, come on. And then you had the one incident where the chick,
you never know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. You never know.
You're right. You never know. But then you had the one chick with Shannon Sharp that said that he physically assaulted her when he was playing football. And what ended up happening was she found out he was at a party and tried to jump into his car. And he stopped her from getting in his car. And she claimed that he physically assaulted her when all he really did was stop her from getting in his car. And that was a whole thing. And this man almost got kicked off his team for that. So I think that there's a certain point to where we have to look at the situations at hand and kind of be able to dissect it and say, hey, that's not what this was. So you can't say that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's only for the situations that are false, because I just think that there needs to be some type of reprimand, because you can't cry wolf shit be false, and then you get to go and live in a happy life, because it's like you have a lot of people who almost had their careers ruined because somebody told a lie. Like Orlando Bloom, that one chick lied and said he raped her, and that man didn't act for years until that shit came out to be false, like he was telling everybody. So I think there has to be some type of reprimand for women who lie about false rape allegations. And honestly, I think it should be men too. You know what I'm saying? If you a dude and you out here saying a chick did something to you, I think there should be some type of reprimand on
I ain't
that.
never heard no case like that though, personally.
I mean, I haven't heard a case like that, but trust me when I tell you, there's some niggas out here that'll do it. I don't put nothing past nobody. So I feel like it's a dude out here that'll say a chick did, you know what I'm saying? Something to him. So I just feel like there should be some type of reprimand, but I feel like it should be some type of reprimand after a thorough investigation per se. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't just be like, oh, she lying. No, after the investigation is done, and you have all the facts that you can possibly have for that situation, and you're looking at this, and somewhere in there it's like, hey, in this investigation, we found out that you told a flat out lie. Then I think there should definitely be some type of reprimand in that regards. So Lilita, as our lady of the show.
Anyone who falsely accused someone of a heinous crime, whether it be sexual assault, even regular domestic violence, should be held liable to the fullest extent. And it's almost to the point to where they should get just as much time as that person had those details not come out, whatever those details may be. And until that happens, we are going to continue seeing these false accusations. It's been going on since the beginning of time. It is a scorned woman's tool, always has been, to be vindictive. And I think the only way that we'll ever fix that is when we see actual harsh punishment that's deserved. Especially, and it's super disrespectful to women who have been sexually assaulted. As a victim of sexual assault, I would probably wring somebody's neck if I found that out, if I was close enough, because it's very demeaning to us. You know what I mean? Like, where you have no idea. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. So why would you go around playing around that way to get back at somebody? Just like girls with fake pregnancy. It's just so many things that need to be taken care of and addressed, and that's one of them.
We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I think that you definitely hit another nail on the head with that statement of like, for people, because it does like take away from the people who are actually went through the shit. You know what I'm saying? For the people who went through the shit, and it takes away from that. It takes away from that hardcore. So if you are somebody who feels like women should be able to stand up and speak their piece when these type of things happen, when you lie about it, you fucking it up for everybody else on the back end of that. So it's one of those things. Is just like you gotta choose. You gotta choose like where you stand, and if you're gonna lie about something like that, then you're not standing with the people who would benefit from that being that being true, so they can speak their piece and speak up. So I will 100% agree with Lola when she says that, like, as it doesn't affect just that person, but it affects everybody who's actually been through that too. So that's a very good point, and I like that. Rod, what you got on that?
Man, I think there definitely has to be some type of repercussion, bro. Like some type of jail time, some type of put you on a sexual predator cry wolf list. Something, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to get that same type of exposure that you tried to do to damage that person who you accuse. I think it should be the same thing. The same thing that he would have got, it should be the same thing that she should get. She need to get on the list. She need to get the jail time. You know what I mean? And she should have to pay some money too, man. Because even when it comes back that you told a lie, that still doesn't completely clear up that person's name. You feel what I'm saying? There's still going to be somebody in the mix that's going to think, dang, I wonder if he really did do it, though. I wonder if somebody paid her to say she lied. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still gonna be something. And then you've already been damaged because they damaged your name anyway. So that's definitely got to be some repercussion. But like, you can't slide with that. Definitely can't slide with that.
I mean, I totally agree. Nisi says prison, no hair around it. The same exact time you would give that man, you need to give to that woman. I can't agree with you more. I can't agree with you more. Like I said, it is one of the things that we've seen time and time over, because you gotta look at it from a perspective of ain't no telling what this person's life could have been if they didn't have to deal with this type of struggle. You know what I'm saying? And like, I really was stuck on that football player because this dude was like about to be he literally was about to be like the Michael Jordan of defense, and one false rape allegation like killed all of that. Like all of that. It was just like, dang, bro, for real. So it definitely does suck. And I definitely think that there need to be some type of reprimand, because you can't just go around flat out lying and getting away with it. So DH. Oh, is my call? I don't know if you get what you got on that?
Well, let me tell you, man, first of all, man, Ray Rice wasn't accused of rape. His was domestic violence. So, secondly, the football player you talking about from Baylor, that dude was built like a Terminator. That dude was on his way, and she wrecked that dude, destroyed that dude. Then you got Brian Banks, who comes to mind. He actually spent 6 years in jail, and he was on his way. He was in high school. He had colleges. I'm talking about Big Ten, everybody. After he spent 6 years in jail, after she finally, came out and admitted she lied, he was done. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons gave him a trial for the preseason, but, he was out of football, football shape. So right now what the NFL did, Roger Goodell gave him a job in the front office of the NFL. Kudos to him. But the one thing I'm confused about is when you say you were raped, as a woman, you got to fill out a police report and everything. I thought it was a crime to file a false police report.
It is a crime to file a false police report. And I think, but that's the thing though, the people, it's like this, the people that they're accusing are like these high profile people. So you got these lawyers, right? I honestly think that if it comes out that she lied, I feel like you should also hold the lawyers to some type of accountability, because you're a client, your client attorney privilege. Somewhere in the line, she lied to you, and somewhere in the line, as a lawyer, you do your own investigation to build your case. You should have found out the fact that she lied, and if you knew she lied somewhere in there, then your ass should be held accountable too.
Not even, bro. Not even, because you got to think about this. A lawyer's job is to defend the person that they're lawyering for. So if that person lied, they finna defend that lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they should, they should by oath, like, do the right thing. But people don't hire, you got to think about it. Most criminals don't hire lawyers to tell them the truth. They hire lawyers to help them cover up the lie.
Most lawyers that find out that you lied about the rape, they drop you. They don't want any part of it, because they don't want to be
that shit gets you this far.
They're not going to defend a liar.
They get you this far.
If they know you lied, they don't mess with you. But man, yeah, if you remember, Jameis Winston was accused of rape when he was in college. But when the chick told the story, it was so incredible. I'm looking like, that bitch straight lying. I mean, you need it, because she said he started raping her in his room. The door wasn't secure. His boy walked in, saw her being raped, and just stood there. Jameis picked her up, took her in the bathroom, continued the rape, and when he was finished, put her on the back of his scooter, drove her, dropped her off at the dorm room, and rode off. And I'm like, seriously? So his boy saw her being raped, didn't say nothing, which would make him an accessory. He finished the rape because he picked her up. She didn't fight at all. Take her to the next room to continue, and then dropped her off at home like ain't nothing happened. I'm like, some people, man, it's just really ridiculous. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you filing false police reports, why aren't you being held accountable for that? Like, you filed a false police report. That's a crime. You know, I personally have a story. It didn't involve me, but my guy, when I was in the military, we was out on weekend leave. We at the hotel. My man got two girls at the hotel. One upstairs, one downstairs. He go upstairs, bang bang skeety. Go downstairs, bang bang skeety. But the chick upstairs found out about the chick downstairs, said he raped her. Now, in the military, rape is a serious offense to get your life in prison. You know, so once that came out, he couldn't move on. They had to do their investigation. My man was looking at life. You know, the only thing that saved him is the chick who lied wound up in the cuckoo bin. They like, oh, this bitch crazy. Then it comes out she lied. She was in her feelings about, you know, being second fiddle or whatever she thought. And I'm like, and that's just a regular guy. You know, these things happen to high profile people. You know, they're able to get lawyers and stuff like that, you know, sift through the garbage and come out on the other side straight. But when it happens to a regular guy who don't have those resources, this guy's sitting in jail right now for rape that they didn't even do. You know, so yes, there should be some type of penalty. I mean, something that is so severe that it deters others from doing that, because it really does ruin a life. It ruins a life. It ruins that person's life. If that person have kids, how is his kids looking at him? You know, like, damn, my dad's a rapist. Mother, father, my son's a rapist. You know, families are like, your kinfolk are rapists. You know, like, damn. And I'm shocked that there is no set penalty or something like that in the works to prevent that, or, you know, have some type of reprimand, like on the books. If you lie about rape, X, Y, and Z gonna happen to you. So, you know, come correct, tell the truth. You know, it's just shocking that there's nothing, you know, like I said, nothing on the books about it.
I mean, that's true, and it can also cause like divorce, because now you get like caught up in a rape, and now your wife looking at you like, damn, nigga. Not also you cheating, but you raping females, like. But that's rough. DH, what you got on this right here, so we can.
Right.
I totally agree with what everybody said, man. I mean, I don't think there's really an option besides some type of, you know, punishment like for it, bro. And not only that, a serious note, like if a female make that allegation, you might have that family member that may go see that dude, bro, and like take his life or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot to factor into. Okay, if my sister, for instance, like, you know, told me she was raped by somebody, like the last thing I'm thinking is that she's not telling the truth. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, I gotta go find old boy. You know what I'm saying? We gotta chat. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put my hands on him or something. You know, but like if that, everything happens. Like now somebody else done got in trouble, and it's a lot to factor into it. You know, so yeah, if that comes out to be false, man, and that's at any level, with somebody regular or, you know, a celebrity or something. There should be that's a lot that it really can like seriously ruin your life. You know, I really think back on, you know, how like that plays a factor in somebody's life big time. and like any of that, yeah, it needs to be some consequences because there are literally dudes sitting in prison right now, from a female lying on them. You know what I mean, about domestic violence or any type of sexual assault, and that shit ain't cool. And it's just like one of the unfair like playing grounds that we as men have, because literally, real talk, a female can literally call the police and be like, my boyfriend hit me, and they coming to look for him, bro. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
yeah.
So should be, taken care of.
Well, I mean, we're all in a agreement with that subject right there. So I mean, just as the last thing, it's just like let's keep it adult. You know what I'm saying? Like sexual abuse, sexual assault, and physical like domestic violence it's never a joking matter. So if it's not something you personally going through, please don't say nobody's doing it to you, because that's like I said, it's a lot of people it's a lot of women that are going through it and nobody believes them. So it's not a joking matter, and we don't condone that right now. So on to the next topic of the night. Um, there's also kind of a heavy one to deal with, but it's something that we got to talk about. As far as like um, far as like just having conversations. What do you believe is the best way to deal with forgiveness when it comes to having to forgive your parents? You know what I'm saying? Because we talk about, forgiveness, and it's always forgiveness is for you and blah, blah, blah. But we never really talk about when you have to forgive your parents for anything they might have done to you in the past or something. Because your parents are the first person that you kind of have any and everything with. So, what would you guys say would be a way to kind of forgive, like to talk to people about forgiveness with their parents? Because I don't necessarily consider myself to have had major issues with my parents. I think me and my parents had a pretty basic relationship. So I'm not saying that I had my issues with my parents, but I've seen people, what I'm saying, go through it with their parents. I've heard stories where people feel some type of way because their parents gave them up for adoption. You know what I'm saying? And we're not talking about an early age. Like I work with a person who straight up told me that like her mom gave her up for adoption when she was 8. Like just took her to the adoption agency, just dropped her off. And then like that messed her up. Or I know dudes who were beaten by their dad for so long, and it's just a really sore mark for them. So it gets to a point when you get to an adult and you have this animosity towards your parent. So it's like, what would y'all feel like the best way to get to a place where you start to forgive your parents? Or how would you even go about like forgiving a parent? Ms. Lola?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is remembering forgiveness isn't for the other person. You have to forgive others for yourself, so you're not carrying that burden along, around with you. And also, you have to remember that your parents are humans too. So they usually do the best that they can with what it is that they've got. Whether it be absent parent, I know that I had an absent parent, but he was on drugs. So something that I learned from speaking to and being in the community is sometimes people are ashamed. So it had if he was ashamed to come around, what can I do? Does it make it right? No. And that's another thing. Your feelings are valid. You can just forgiving somebody doesn't invalidate your feelings. Your feelings are valid, but you do want to forgive. And also, forgiveness doesn't mean you have to have a relationship with that person. If that person is toxic, if they're still abusive, if they're still bringing negative vibes to your life, you don't have to continue dealing with them. But you do and should rather you should forgive them for yourself at the very least.
You know what? That's very well spoken. And I think that for you in that situation, I think for you, it's like some people can look at that, right? And I've actually had people say that, like they can look at your situation and say that's an easy one. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's an easy one because that's something because dealing with drugs is a whole different ballgame because that's not even that person. That's that person on drugs. That person is not even the same. So that right there is almost like a kind of an excuse. It's like they were on drugs. So that's why that person was absent. That's why that forgiveness is a little bit easier. But you got parents that are not on drugs. You got parents that are in their absolute right mind and just parents that are just absolute shitty people. You know what I'm saying? I watched, I think what kind of gave me this subject was I watched a story where this girl said she ended up getting pregnant when she was like 14. And she said her mom took her kids for 10 years and wouldn't let her see him for 10 years. And she said when she finally got her kids back, and she's like, she straight up was like, I wanted to kill my mother for holding my kids out. And then she painted me as this horrible person to my kids for 10 years, all because she was mad that I got pregnant at 16, 15. And so when she finally got her kids back and started to build a relationship with her kids, somebody hit her back with the, well, are you going to forgive your mom? And so I think that's where the road gets hella tough in that type of situation, because it's like, how the hell do you forgive something like that? How do you look at somebody and say, I forgive you? You know what I'm saying? Or just people who just been through other crazy subjects. It's like, how do you kind of start that process of forgiving a parent? Because me and Telly talked about it a little bit, and what Lola said is 1,000% correct. Like parents aren't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you start a job, your first week, your first couple weeks are gonna suck because it's new. Parents go through that for years when they have kids. So you know what I'm saying? Some of these parents, this is their first kid, first or second set of kids. So it's like they suck at it. So it's one thing from kind of being a new parent and understanding that this parent is a human being, they're gonna make mistakes. But then you go to a whole nother ball game where you have parents that are just absolute shitty people. Like you got parents that are absolute shitty people. You got parents that are mad at their own lives, so they take it out on their kids. And I think when you start dwelling in that area, that is something hard to forgive. Or when you have absent parents that are intentionally absent. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard stories where a dude was telling me his daddy lived 5 minutes away from him for 13 years. He knew exactly where he was for 13 years, net he never came around. You know what I'm saying? Because he was too busy with his other family, right? And what made the story even more interesting was because basically, so his daddy found a white woman and he had his little, white family with his little white woman. And he was like, man, this dude took care of his damn stepkids better than he took care of his own child. And so the dude was like, how do you begin to forgive something like that? He's like, here I am, you know what I'm saying, killing myself in the weight room trying to get a fucking football scholarship to help me go through college. And here he is setting up trust funds for his stepkids to go to college. You know what I'm saying? He was like, he found out his daddy was well off and had plenty of money. And he's like, the only thing he said, his daddy gave his mama like $200 a month for him. So I think like once you start dwelling in that area, I think that's where it gets a lot tougher to forgive in that area. But what you're saying is right. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. But like, how would you say you start that process of like forgiveness when you have situations like that?
Man, dude. Whew. As a product of a absentee father who just, I don't know, man, just for some odd reason left. Left and raised his other kids, my other brothers and sisters, and forgot about his first three. It affected me for many years. Many, 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 many years, man. And I don't know, man. I kind of blamed my mother, I guess, only because to me, she was the one that could fix any and everything. You got to realize that, man, like Lola said, your parents are human. They make mistakes. Being a parent doesn't come with a handbook. There's no guide. I wish there was. Maybe we all should get together, write our experiences down, put together a handbook for new parents. Because becoming a parent myself, and I look back and I'm like, I started to realize a bunch of stuff like that I didn't notice when I was a kid. Because as a kid you're oblivious. Your world is about you. You don't look around and see what your parents went through to get you to the point of sacrifices that they made. And I started noticing things from my childhood like, damn, my mama really sacrificed. I didn't even notice this part. Like, whoa, that's some deep stuff. Like, I didn't notice she did this. Now I notice. And you walk around with that resentment, it's going to eat you up inside. It's going to burn you up and burn up everything around you. It's going to make you miss out on relationships with people because you're angry, you're resentful. You got to forgive. You got to let it go. It's hard, but you got to say, you know what? That's okay. I forgive you. You did what you had to do. You did what you did. Me being mad about it is not going to change it. It happened. It's in the past. All we can do is learn from that, not do that same thing, and move forward. Not for them, but for us. So we can be all right. So we can be healthy. So we can be prosperous and fruitful in this world and not hold ourselves back and miss out on things because we too busy and too stuck looking back behind us about what happened instead of looking forward considering what could happen that's good for us. Good for our kids, good for our wives, our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, our fathers. We got to let it go. And it's hard to let it go, but you got to. When you say your man's father lived 5 minutes away, man, if you ever heard Terrell Owens talk, his dad stayed right across the street from him, literally across the street. He can sit on his grandma's porch and look at his father. He never came his ass across the street to see his own son. But you see, T.O. is a Hall of Famer. He didn't let that hold him back. And that's what I'm saying. Don't let it hold you back. Do what you got to do for those people and move on.
I mean, that's real shit because that is something hard to swallow. And I think, like Lola said, it is forgiveness is for you, not for them. And in certain situations, like people like and Lola looked at the situation as like, yo, this parent was on drugs. So I looked at that situation, I analyzed that situation, and I kind of chalked it up to life decisions and circumstances, right? So I don't hold this animosity. I don't hate you. Hell, I love you and I hope you can get better. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got some people who that's the end of the world. Now you're the worst parent in the world because, oh, you were on drugs. You're the worst parent in the world. You know what I'm saying? So you got some parents, some people that hold that in that high regard where they might be looking at your situation, Lola, and be like, oh, it's the end of the world because you're that. And it's just like, bro, it's not really the end of the world because that's something that can be healed. Like they kind of have this mindset where they're not looking at it as a place of like, bro, being addicted to drugs is a disease because it's a repeating process. This person can't just wake up and be like, oh, I gotta stop doing this. It's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's like I said, that person is not that person because they've letting that situation take over. So I think you realizing that, I think that's very mature of you not to really kind of hold that against them to a place where it's like, oh, I hate you because of that. You know what I'm saying? So that just speaks to where you're at mentally as far as maturity wise. But some people, I've seen people be bent out of shape. I've seen people mad at their parents for struggling. You know, oh, all my friends had this and you never gave me that, and I just be looking like, so you mad at your parents for struggling? So it's just like you got to do better in your own life with that situation. But I think that for certain situations, I look at it like this, and like me and Tully discussed. I think that if you are a person and you are holding some type of grudge against your parents, understand this: you only get one set of parents. You only get one mom and dad. At the end of the day, you get one. And if you are willing to look at that situation and say, "Hey, if your parent died tomorrow and you are okay with that," then I say, "Hey, that's how you feel and you stand on it." Because sometimes, man, in life, there's just some circumstances that you really just can't let slide. And you just feel the way you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched, like I said, the subject came to me because I was watching this string of stories, and I had one where the girl said people was like they wanted me to forgive my father. Like my father killed my mother. So at a certain point, I was like, yeah, there's no forgiveness in that at all. Honestly, when she went to court and they told her to speak, she straight up told them, I hope you give him the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? And people were like, oh no, you need to forgive your father. You only get one. And I think, I'm all down for forgiveness, but there's just certain things in life where it's just like, you know what? I think that young lady made the conscious decision. I'm okay with my father dying and okay with him knowing that I wanted him to die. And I think that you absolutely have the right to feel that way. So we have to look at it from an individual standpoint of what is your circumstance and how is it compared to other people's circumstances? Because we like I said, I have two people up right here on this panel. Telly's dad was very absent a lot for most of his life. He said, what, 30 years you didn't speak to him?
Man, it was the last time I was physically in a room with my dad, I was 14. That's 31 years.
So there you have it. He hasn't seen his dad in 31 years. And I think that at a certain point, there can be a lot of resentment being had from him, but he decided that, you know what, it's not worth that. So I'm going to let it go. Same thing with Lola. She just told us about she had a parent that was on drugs. But you know what? There could be a lot of resentment and hatred towards that. But she chose to let it go because she knew it wasn't doing her any good. You know what? And then honestly, it makes you honestly a better parent. In my opinion, because it's like if you can look at your parent and choose to let them go for whatever they did that hurt you, then I think that you can tap into being the better and best parent that you can possibly be for your kids down the line and teaching them that, hey, and sometimes in life, shit's gonna absolutely fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? But you chuck it up, you do what you can to get over it, and you deal with it. And some people out there just not dealing with it, Yeah, and hold on.
Gotta deal with it because you know what? It's a lot of instances
where
the kid only hear one side of the story.
Exactly.
And then later on, they hear the other side. And they're like, "Oh, I was freaking lied to." You know what I'm saying?
Like me and Tully discussed
all this time.
Like we discussed earlier in the podcast.
I grew up all this time.
I like when we growing up.
One side.
Yeah, you hear one side. When we growing up, our parents were the law. They were God. They were the top of the food chain. What they said goes. Yeah. And so we got old enough to finally start seeing the real version of what's right and what's wrong. And when you get old enough to start seeing what's right and what's wrong, you start to realize your parents probably did a lot of wrong shit. So are you gonna let that go, or are you gonna hold that against them? And if you hold that against them, that's animosity. That's unnecessary animosity. So I agree with what everybody said. DZ say, you don't want to hold on to it because at some point you gotta let that shit go. Parent or not, it's not healthy for you to hold on to that. Let it go. And Miss Tiffany said, the last time I saw my dad, she was 15, and it took my papa passing to see him again in 2018 when I was 33. So yeah. That is just sometimes you just gotta let those things go because that shit is not easy. So we're gonna hop into our last subject of the night.
Not at all.
Not so hard, but something to think about. Because we all understand the concept of bullies, right? And we all and I think I'm speaking to two perfectly good people for this subject because both of them have mothers. Both of them are parents who have a daughter and a son. So I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give the situation at hand, right? I watched this story, and it was a young lady. She came home. So I'm gonna put yourselves in this situation. You come home from work, and your daughter's sitting in a room with a black eye. Now, first things first, somebody about to die. You know what I'm saying? Somebody about to die. Like ain't no way around it. You ready? Matter of fact, you ready to get on the phone and call Uncle Jody because I'm coming right behind you. Bought it. No questions asked. Right? So you get down to the school, right? And you sit in the principal's office, you know what I'm saying? And you in your tennis shoes with your hair in a tight ponytail and some Vaseline in your face because somebody about to catch these hands. And the other kid's family walk in and you see the young man with a busted lip, right? Now you sitting there like, well, what the hell? And the principal says your daughter was bullying this young man, and this young man defended himself, right? So where are you at mentally with that set, right? Because now you're kind of almost at a stalemate where you're like, hold up, because I don't raise bullies. That's not what the hell we do in this house. But at the same time, somebody done put their hands on your child. So now that's the conflict of two parents with daughters. Where are y'all at as far as like the conflict of interest in your own mind, own heart in that scenario?
So, real quick recap: the little boy was also injured, or just upset and came to the front office. I didn't catch that part.
Okay, so the story I seen was this girl was bullying a boy. So she started with him. She was bullying on him, and he retaliated. So the girl came home with a black eye. And when their parents went back to the school, they found the little boy with a busted lip. And that was from the daughter hitting him.
Okay, so that's what it was. I'm definitely gonna look at my child and say that's what your ass get. And I'm gonna tell you why. My children, since from young, they know I don't play that bully shit. I took all the fades for all the kids in school who were being bullied. There's a whole TikTok series on the yellow girl who be standing up for everybody, and that was literally me. Like I had all the cool friends, but I wasn't really popular, if you will. I know a lot of people, but I wasn't popular. I didn't wear the newest clothes and stuff like that. But if I saw you messing with somebody, you better believe I was walking my 5 foot nothing ass over there and checking shit. Always. So from the moment they were young, I ingrained in them, or I hope I did. I hope I did a good job because you guys know what your kids do at school. I haven't had any complaints up to this point. My daughter's about to be 17. But it's a very big deal to me on how you treat people. So, and I'm going to explain to her why I think it's okay for her to have a black eye. Because in this world, and words are different. Like if it would have just been words, I would have still been like, you were dead ass wrong for real, JoJo, but I'm still gonna get this people ass because you shouldn't have put your hands on my child. This should have been escalated. And as a parent, just we would have had it. But the fact that she also laid hands on him and there was a whole exchange, you just happened to get the black eye. I'm sorry. You should have ducked. You should have weaved. That was your bad. But it's definitely a principal learning lesson for me, in my opinion. Now, I will make it be known we're not going to make a habit of this because at the end of the day, it's still my child. So we shouldn't have any more run-ins because I just let her know she did ass wrong, and I will kick her ass if you tell me that that he was messing with your child or whatever the case may be. So you're going to keep your hands on my child moving forward. But kudos to the little boy for defending himself and standing up for himself. And also, I do like to talk to children about like boys are stronger than girls, so you really shouldn't hit girls, whatever the case may be. But that's gonna be my position to the day I die. If you're gonna be a bully and you're gonna be a shitty person, there's gonna be things that happen, like somebody bopping you upside your head, and you better be glad he didn't bring a gun to school and shoot you in between your eyeballs, because that's where kids are doing nowadays. So be a good fucking person, and that's just my motto in my household. I know it's probably very taboo, but that's definitely my stance on that for sure.
I mean,
I know that surprises you because I'm very protective of my kids.
No, that don't surprise me at all. I think so. Being a good person. So what we're saying is, you look at the situation, and because she was being a bully, you like, hey, this is what you get. But what you also letting precedent, hey, but this shit is a one and done. This ain't this. We're not having this conversation no more. Like, all right, let me do it. All right, so I'm gonna give it a you got a daughter, right? That same situation. You come home from work, and her and Tiffany are sitting in the kitchen, and she's sitting there with an ice pack on her eye. You know what I'm saying? At first thing you do, you ready? All right, you ready? Somebody got to die. You know what I'm saying? And so you get down to the school, and you sitting there, and it's the same thing. You got some boy sitting there, and he's sitting here with an ice pack on his lip, and they break it down. It's like, your daughter was bullying this boy, and she hit him, and he gave her a 2-piece and a biscuit back. What is your reaction to that?
Well, me, like Lola, I've always talked to my kids about, things that goes on in the school, because the climate in school has changed a lot since I was in school. So, bullying is, they like broad stroke, everything is bullying now. So I got to see what's going on, man. Like, was it bullying like she said she didn't like his haircut? Or was it bullying like she pushing him and trying to take his lunch money? Because that's bullying to me. You trying to physically intimidate somebody. And if you see my daughter, she built like Baby D from Friday. No lie. I call her Baby D. I'm like, that's Baby D right there.
Leave my dog alone.
So I expect it to happen with her. She mellow, but I'm like, she can probably give some dudes some go. Like, she, a husky, tall girl. So I'm like, so what happened? Okay, she hit him and he hit her back. Yeah. I'm going to sit to her and look at her like, what I tell you about putting your hands on people. You just can't expect somebody not to hit you back. I'm like, if he hit you and you hit him back, then I'm on his ass. Because I told you, we ain't taking no ass whoopings in this house. But we ain't going out and starting nothing either. So you hit him, he hit you back. What you expect? Somebody to, let you hit them? Now I'm going to get on your ass when we get out of here. Because now you broke the rules and I'll talk to you about it. Now I'm going to talk to the principals now. Also, look, I'm going to apologize because that ain't the way what we do. Secondly, young man, if she was bothering you, why didn't you tell somebody? I tell my kids all the time, somebody bothers me, go tell a teacher. That shit doesn't work out. They don't do what? Come and tell me then. Because I'm going to come up there, I'm going to make sure it stops. Don't take it upon yourself. So as parents, we got to be objective. And I know it's hard to be objective when it comes to your children. Because those are your kids, man. You don't want to see your child hurt. But then I got to look at it from the other parent's perspective, too. They don't want to see their child hurt either. So we got to get this shit straight, man. How would I feel if the shoe was on the other foot? I'd be pissed off.
That's the next question. But I thought this was a very interesting question and scenario because you guys both have one daughter and 2 sons. So it's like your girl, and for Lola, this is her oldest, but it's also her baby girl. You know what I'm saying? This is my baby girl, this is my older girl, but it's also my oldest, my pride and joy, my mini-me. And Telly, this your baby girl, even though she's not your youngest, it's my baby girl, but it's my only girl. So she holds that special place in your heart. So that's why it's a little bit of interest. So that's the second part.
That's my princess, baby.
That's my princess. How would you tell your son to conduct himself if you found out he was being bullied by a girl? You know what I'm saying? Would you tell your son to defend yourself, or would you tell your son, hey, bro, you can't be hitting girls? So now that's the second half to the question. What would you tell your two sons, your two kings? You know what I'm saying? Your two kings. What would you tell them, Lola, if they told you, Mom, I got this girl at school and she bullying me? You know what I'm saying? I want to hit her with a 2-piece and a biscuit, but I know I'm not supposed to hit women. How would you have that conversation with your sons?
Yeah, so I actually have this conversation often with the boys, because it doesn't stay fresh in their mind. The first things first, they have, I swear to God, 30 cousins. Give or take. Like first cousins, like my daddy, your daddy, they real brothers, got the same mom, same daddy. So you better get one of your girl cousins, because they gonna pull up, everybody gonna pull up and wear her ass out if she puts her hands on you, or if you see it escalating, like you try. I'm always telling them, deal with conflict on your own at first. So hey, Sarah, I really don't like how you carrying on, and get people isolated, because when they in front of a crowd, guess what, they gonna show out. That's just children. So hey, Sarah, really I don't appreciate how you been handling me. That's the first level. If she goes, fuck you, Tyrone. Okay, bitch. All right, I got you. I got something for your ass. Then you involve adults, and that's, I think, one of the most important lessons for these kids, especially in the society, because we're very busy and we're not at work and all this other stuff, on our phones or whatever. So you need to make sure that your kids, when they come home from school, aren't just telling you, yeah, it was great, it was boring, whatever. Get in their business a little bit and let them know when you're having a conflict, I'm the best person to give you advice. So that way I can go, okay, well, let's have a parent-teacher meeting, which I have found out schools don't do anymore. So
I didn't have the PTAs no more, which I think is fucking crazy.
It's crazy to me, because back in my day, if there was a conflict, my mom would go up there, the other child parent come up there, we all have a conversation. But I guess these new age parents, they don't be doing what they supposed to do, and they be raising more issues. So they stop doing those mediation things. But I would try still, like, hey, let's try to get both families together and figure out what's going on. And last but not least, I'm going to send somebody up there, whether it's my daughter, a cousin, whatever. Somebody going to go see Sarah and let Sarah know. We're going to try to avoid all types of physical activities. But if all else fails, we're going to find a girl to whoop Sarah's ass. And that's the bottom line.
Okay, so we all know how kids can get amped. So you saying in the heat of the moment, you want your son to restrain.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it usually escalates, right? Usually the first incident isn't a physical thing. It's usually, ooh, Tyrone, you looking a mess, or ooh this, or ooh that. Yeah. So the first time somebody makes you feel away, you need to check that one-on-one, like, hey, I really don't appreciate when you do all that. It really bothers me. And some people will stop. Some people, if they're decent people, they're going to stop. And if they don't, they just go through that chain of command. And that way, when it's time to whoop ass, I feel fully comfortable and confident with this ass whooping. If her mama wants some, her mama could get some. I mean, we could make it a family affair. But
we already know.
Imagine they get in that car, and all he had to do was go tell Sarah, hey, Sarah, you really aggravating when you do that. Stop doing that. And she could probably like him and go, okay, I won't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's opposite sex stuff, sometimes it be pent up aggression. So just approaching that person to mitigate. And also, these are skills that children learn anyway through adulthood. You don't need to run and tell me first if you haven't tried talking to her. Because guess what? Them the same people who be at work dry snitching. Why you just tell me that you don't like my music? That you don't like when I hum? Why the fuck you telling the boss? Now we gotta have a meeting. So that's why I like to approach those situations that way.
Okay. Well, I like that perspective. For me, I would say this, right? I don't have a daughter, but I do have nieces, and I would be super conflicted because they're my babies, and I'd be ready to bust a nigga head wide the fuck open. So I would be super conflicted. But I think at the end of the day, I would have to say that would be my first approach. It would kind of be like, when we talked about, because I've had this conversation with all my nieces and nephews. Keep your hands to yourself. And I said, especially my nieces. I was like, as your uncle, it's my job to have your back and to fuck up any nigga that puts his hands on you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, don't put me in a conflicted situation where you out here trying to be a fucking bully. Because I'm like, Lola, I don't have no respect for bullies. And if they tell me that you being a bully, you being a bully kind of validates this nigga putting his hands on you. And as much as I don't like it, right? As much as I might want to, chop little Tyrone in the throat for putting his hands on you, I gotta kind of look at that man and say, I would expect my son to defend himself from any damn body. So it is a hell of a confliction. So it's like the reason you being a bully kind of wipes my feelings about it clean. But we also this is the first and last time though. Let me tell you right now, it's first last time we have this conversation. Because next time everybody get it. You go ahead and get your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your uncle, whoever. We're gonna make this a family thing. And if we gotta shoot this shit out in the elementary parking lot, it's so fucking big, it is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. So back to you. So what if it was one of your sons? How would you tell them to handle having a female as a bully?
Dude, did you hear me earlier?
I know. Hey, I know you got baby over there.
But you know what, man? My mom had this conversation with me when I was a young dude, around my 6 or 7. She it was ironic because I remember this. My mom was a victim of domestic violence. My dad was an abuser. My mom looked me in the eye and said, she didn't care. Don't let nobody hurt you. Don't let anybody hurt you. She said, I don't care if it's a boy or girl. Don't let anybody hurt you. And then my dad said, you don't hit women. Fuck my head up. The man want to beat on my mother, but don't say don't hit women. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I told him I've actually had this conversation with my boys because they, I sit them down and say, Dad don't believe in hitting women. If a girl talking crazy to you, ignore that shit. I'm like, for all of your life, women gonna talk crazy. Trust me, they don't stop. It gets worse. You don't pay attention to it. Walk off. Now, if she's trying to put her hands on you, and you don't have to do anything to her, and you can, maneuver to where she don't, cool, do that. Now, if she corner you and you can't, man, don't let nobody hurt you. Now, I ain't saying choke the shit out of her and try to put her down. But if you got to subdue her the way you got to subdue her, you can do that. I'll deal with the blowback because then we're going to have a conversation at your school. Why is she trying to hit him? And how do you expect somebody to take an ass whooping? I don't know if I sent you this video, Jody, but I see it's on my page.
That's how
that girl in the gas station.
The girl in the gas station. You see my comment. Now, just to get a cliff note, when it comes to relationships, I feel like and me personally, I'm gonna do my best to try to restrain myself from any kind of physical altercation with the person that I am with. Bruh, if you a female and you come talking to me reckless at the gas station, I'm gonna look at you like you crazy. If you a female and you putting your hands on me at the gas station, like I put in Telly's comments, that girl that was hitting on that boy at the gas station, baby, the first swing you would have threw at me, I would have popped your ass with a 3-piece and a biscuit, and I might have ended that motherfucker with a people's elbow. Y'all would have seen me at the gas station throwing the people's elbow down in this bitch, and your friend might have got a 2-piece and a biscuit too. I'm like this. I don't give a fuck who you are. Don't put your hands on me. Listen,
it was bad. The video was seriously, the boy was trying to buy his chips. I don't know what happened.
I don't really have much context. She was upset.
Kept hitting him.
Kept hitting on that dude.
Fist closed, hitting him in the face, and he throwing his hands up like, "I'm not finna hit you." And she kept hitting him in the face, and he like, "I'm not finna hit you." And then her friend said, "You better not touch her." I'm like, she is physically busting this dude.
Yeah.
And he said, "Go get your brothers." He said, "Go get your brothers."
There are a lot of women that take advantage of the fact that dudes are like, I'm not gonna hit a woman. There's a lot of women that take advantage of that fact because I promise you this. If you knew for a fact that if you put your hands on this man, he gonna swole your ass up, you wouldn't fucking do it. You wouldn't do it. There's a lot of women that take advantage of the fact that a lot of dudes aren't putting their hands on women. There's women that take advantage of the fact. You know what I'm saying? It's always a very touchy subject. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like as a dude, as for us dudes, we kind of look at it as a situational thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't wake up in the morning like, oh, I want to beat a bitch up today. Nah, I'm on my business. I've had females talk reckless to me at work. I've had females talk reckless to me while I'm at the gas station. I was pulling up in the gas station. I guess I pulled up to the pump and this girl wanted the pump and she was talking all kind of reckless and shit. I just looked at it and ignored her. Went on about my damn business. It's like, man, listen, you can do all this right here. You can call me every name in the book. But you see this right here? Don't get in my elbow space. Don't get up in my personal space. So you want to talk your shit from way over there? You talk your shit from way over there. I don't care. But don't get up in my personal space. And I think that's where me personally, I would be at too. Like as a dude, like I tell my nephews the same thing. It's like, you don't let nobody hurt you, but don't go out looking for no problems. If a female putting her hands on you do your best to try to get away from the situation, because at the end of the day, you are going to be the bad guy in that situation. And especially as young men of color, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be looked at. Now you're a black man abusing. And I had to tell that shit to one of my nephews, bro. He was like, this white girl be bothering him in class. I'm like, as much as I want to tell you to pop her ass in the mouth for almost putting her, for like throwing something at you, please don't do that. Lord, please
don't do that one.
Lord, please don't put your hands on that girl. I say this is one of those times where you got to play the room. Tell the teacher, and you know what? If you tell the teacher and she do it again, then we will come up to the school and get involved. Because I'm like, look, bitch, my nephew done told you this person is bothering him. Now, if he do something to her, it's going to be a fucking big ass issue. But you not doing what the fuck you supposed to do. So she quit bothering him. And at that point, yeah, I want to talk to their parents. Because, hey, bro, why your kid keep bothering my kid? Because I'm like, hey, bro, you ever been punched in the face? Because I don't got a problem laying your bitch ass out. Trust me when I tell you that. So you better tell your daughter to leave my kid alone for I lay your bitch ass out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna whoop your parents' ass.
Yeah, you ever got your ass whooped? Hey, you ever got your ass whooped? Yeah, you go get your ass whooped for your kid. You finna catch a default ass whooping because of your kid. We not doing that. I think this situation there's always a conversation to be had. We're always gonna talk about how bullying is not okay. Like there's and even then, like I think one of my topics that we're also going to touch on is the development of bullying, because now bullying is gotten to a point where it's online. You know what I'm saying? It's online bullying. Cause baby, don't trust me when I tell you, don't do it. Don't be trying to online bully my kid on social media, baby. I got two laptops and a tablet. Well, we will go your ass from here to kingdom come. Play with me. If my nephew ever told me, man, this person bullying me online, I said, who? What's your little handle? What? I'm finna cool. I already know who to send a picture to. Hey, I'm hitting Lola. Hey, find out some dirt on this person's parents. I'm like, nigga, I know you ain't climbing my nephew. That's why your mama got an OnlyFans page. Shut up. We going off.
That's why I monitor, dude. I monitor what my kids do online. If I catch something, it's gonna be like, oh, let me tell you something. This is what you say to them. This is how you hurt their feelings. I'm telling you, man. All day long, this is how you hurt their feelings.
My kid getting suspended from school. That's why your mama got caught giving up neck behind the hall. Stop playing with me,
man. For real.
Stop playing with me, bro. Now stop playing with me. We going to end on the conversation. But like I think that at the end of the day, there's always a place where you need to have those conversations with your kids, because like Lola said, you know what I'm saying, and like Tully said, these kids are very weak-minded. Like, bro, when me and Lola was in school, we went to PAL. We went to the alternative school for bad kids. We went to PAL. Do you know what we did when we first got to school? We roasted each other. Do you know what we did at lunch? We roasted each other. Do you know what we did at PE? We roasted each other. Do you know how many times me and Rod used to go back and forth, bro? He ain't on here now. This nigga made a diss track about me one time. Made a diss track and put it on a CD and played it for the whole class, bro. That's how ruthless and stupid we was young. But you know what I did? I didn't get mad. And guess what? I made my own diss track. We clowned each other. You know what I'm saying? Today's kids, man, please, you make one mean post. Now they in depression for 2 damn weeks. So,
Yeah.
For real.
It's
but you know, that's what society made them, because we roasted each other. Shit, that's what we did for fun. You know, it only went too far when you brought somebody mama into it, then that's when it turns into a fight. Outside of that, you can talk about the hair, shoes, clothes, anything, man. You just fire back. And then next thing you know, y'all cool, man. Y'all out at recess. Y'all might roast another kid together, and then, you know, it's all good. But like you said, now, like I see nowadays, you can tell it, hey, I don't like that shirt. Down to the principal office.
Now my kid need a week off because he's been mentally tortured and shit. That shit be wild.
Right, like,
what?
Down at the principal office, your kid bullying another kid didn't like their shirt.
Yeah, and Nisi obviously agrees. You know what I'm saying? She's like, now you bullying first, and baby girl, I'm gonna help you ice the eye up, but you deserve that. It is what it is. We gotta talk to our kids, man. And
I talk to my kids like, I'm like, man, somebody say something about you. Oh, look at your clothes. You hit them back with something. Don't come crying to me talking about my clothes. Man, don't do that shit. You roast their ass. This is what you say. And you make them cry, then we'll deal with it later. But don't come talking about, oh, they talking about me. Talk about their ass back. Don't be that.
Listen, I don't give a damn what you say. Long as you ain't cursing, saying nothing vulgar, or disrupting class, hey, roast the shit out of their ass. It is what it is.
For real.
Like, matter of fact, let me
up like a microwave dinner.
Hey, let me put on this Kings of Comedy right quick so you can get a few pointers. Now, why I'm letting my 11-year-old nephew watch Kings of Comedy? Because I'm a bad uncle. I don't know why you be leaving with your kids. Why? You drop your kids off with Jody. That's why. That was your problem right there. But listen, listen though. That's our time for the night, and I want to appreciate thank and Miss Lolita for coming through. Like we said before in the beginning of the show, we got a very, very, very lovely interview. Tomorrow dropping on the Family Talk page, our first lady on Family Talk, Miss Lucretia. Her interview is tomorrow exclusively only on YouTube. So go to the Family Talk page on YouTube, check us out on the YouTube page, and you can see it. And other than that, that's all we got. Lolita, don't go nowhere after the credits because I want to ask you something right quick, and then I'll let you get there. So hang out with us after the credits. After that, hey man, we appreciate y'all for coming through. Hey, we'll see y'all next week.
Yo, also one of our family members wrote a book, Miss Lucretia. The name of the book, what is it called, Jody?
It's oh Lord, fire.
Is it the new beginning or the new me?
The new me, we fired.
The new me, right?
But we know the interview, the book is out on Amazon for $12. So go get that. It's a good read. And the interview is tomorrow on YouTube only. And on that note,
also, don't forget, we're still looking for some women to host a Wednesday show.
Ladies to host the Ladies Wednesday show so y'all can talk about lady props.
Lady things, sort of like a real talk woman's version. So talk about any and everything. But as women, we're going to call it Women Crushing Wednesday. You know, I like that.
Y'all can make up a name. Y'all get to it. Just don't be talking bad about me. That's all I ask. But other than that,
with that,
y'all have a good week. Y'all have a good night. Lola, hang out with us. I got a question to ask you right quick. Other than that, we'll see y'all next Tuesday. And we will see y'all see me and Telly on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock on Family Talk. Peace.
8 Central.
Yo.
I'm trying to. Why is this stupid thing not in there?
Can I turn the camera off? Can I turn the camera off?
Hold on. I'm trying to. Why is this? Right, that's what I'm about to do. Like, what is this doing? Hold on. I know I'm bugging.